week's lesson, we're going to learn about arrays. Arrays are groups of things. They can either be groups of variables, like numbers and strings, or they can be groups of objects. We haven't learned about objects yet, but we'll do that in a later lesson. This week, we'll learn how to declare an array of variables and some of the things we can do with arrays. Let's get started. Okay, let's create a new file. And we're going to call this arrays.js. Click return and your new file will be created. And we're going to create an array of fruits. So we will say let fruits equal, and then we're going to put in square brackets. So the square brackets are what denotes that we are going to be making an array. And then we put all of our items into the array. So since this is an array of fruits, we're going to put in a bunch of fruits, which are actually strings. So we will say apple, and then orange, and then pear. So notice that all of our items are in quote marks because they are strings and they are separated by commas. Okay, and that's all you need to do to make an array. So let's log out that array so we see what it looks like. So we'll say console.log fruits. So we will save, and then we will run our program by saying node array.js. And there is our array, apple, orange, pear. Okay, now we can also refer to items in the array just one at a time. So we can say console.log fruits, and then we'll use those curly brackets, and let's put a 0 in there. What that 0 is doing is it's accessing the first element of the array, which is apple. Now, you might be saying to yourself, why is it 0? Why isn't it 1? There's 3 things in it. Why isn't it 1, 2, 3? That's just not how arrays are used. The first item in an array is always item 0. And then, so then orange is going to be item 1, pear is going to be item 2. So let's save again, and we'll see what happens when we log that 0 element in fruits. And there it is, apple. Let's do one more. So now let's refer to the third element, which of course will be referred to with the number 2. Let's save that and run that. And there we go. Now we've accessed the third element in the array, which is pear. Let's learn a couple more things we can do with arrays. One thing we can do is we can find out how long the array is, how many items are in it. And the way we do that is with the command length. So if we log fruits.length, we will get the answer of how long the array is. So let's run that. And we can see there it is, 3. There are 3 elements in our array. Let's learn something else. So what if we want to add an item to our array? We do that with the push command. So we will say fruits dot push, and then in parentheses, we will put in the fruit that we want to add. So let's say grape. So that will add grape to the end of our array. Let's log that out to make sure that's what happened. So we'll say console.log fruits. And now let's run that command. And there it is. So now we've got apple, orange, pear, and grape. Now, if we want to remove something from an array, we use the pop command. And the pop command has parentheses, but nothing in them. And what that will do is that will take off the last item in the array. So now that should take the grape away. Let's log and see if that's what happened. Remember to save before you run. Yep, we can see when we did the pop, it took away the grape. So now we just have apple, orange, and pear again. Let's learn one more command. You might be asking yourself, well, what if I want to add an element to my array, but I don't want to add it to the end of my array? What if I wanted it to be somewhere in the middle of my array? You can do that with the splice command. And this is what that looks like. We say fruits.splice, And then in the parentheses, we're going to put in 3 different parameters. The first parameter is going to define the position where the new item should be located. So let's say we wanted it to be in the second position of our array, which remember, that's not going to be position 2, that's going to be position 1, because we always start counting with 0. So we will say 1. That's our position of our new item. And then the second parameter defines how many items in the array we want to delete. And right now we don't want to delete any items. So we're just going to say 0. And then the third parameter we pass in is the new variable that we want to add in. So let's add in a new fruit. Let's add in banana. So what we should see here is we should see that we will have apple, and then in the second position, we will have banana, and then orange, and then pear. So let's log that out and see if that's what we get. And let's run. And look at that, apple, banana, orange, and pear. There are many more things you can do with arrays, but this is just a little taste to get you started. Thanks for watching this video. If you found my training helpful, please like this video and share it with others. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single lesson. If you're enjoying Monday Morning Automation and you'd like to learn even faster, be sure to check out my book, The Complete Software Tester, which is available in Kindle and paperback on Amazon.com.